Come on, come all, and welcome to the JohnHexx Showcase. Today I'll be updating you on some changes that have been made across the JohnHexx universe and the different platforms. Where we're going, some of the things we've done, and maybe even a glimpse into the future. So once again, this is the JohnHexx Showcase. Let's start with the current YouTube channel we're on at the moment. As you may have noticed, if you've looked around, we've dropped the TV from JohnHexx TV. It's now been rebranded as JohnHexx. Now, the reason for this change is this. I can go back quickly on a history of what this channel used to be, Degeneration Hack, and all of that in the beginning stages. But that'll be a long story. That's a story to tell for another time. But eventually, like I said, we got to the name of JohnHexx TV. JohnHexx TV, if you've seen my editing style on a lot of games, not stuff that's highlighted, probably not reaction stuff or analyst stuff, but like, let's say a game like The Quarry that we've been releasing lately. If you watched any of those videos, you would notice that my editing style is kind of TV-esque. Right, that's what I go for. I edit it as if it was a TV show. Like sometimes it has a cool open. It has like an opening, like title scene. Sometimes you'll watch the gameplay, and then it goes into a finish. Hopefully, a lot of times, a conclusion or a cliffhanger to keep you around and want to see what happens next. Sort of TV or movie-esque, but those videos tend to be longer. One of the big reasons I made a video not too long ago saying that I was going to cut back again on the longer form content and make the content a little bit more highlighted. But on things like The Quarry, I struggle to do that because like each part of the gameplay is pivotal, decision making is pivotal, and cutting that down is difficult. So I find myself still making those type of videos that are TV-esque. But that is why the channel was called JohnHexx TV the first place, because my editing style was kind of TV-esque. So those longer forms, because I do want to get away from that on this particular channel, but at the same time, I still want like the Let's Play style videos somewhere. So there was a channel that I started not too long ago, and to be honest, I think I named it Degeneration Hex. I keep moving that name around. Like now, that's the name of my WWE 2K channel. I started that channel at one point because I had in mind one time that I was going to do like maybe some reviews. And I even uploaded one of the videos on this channel of me doing a retro review of the Power Rangers. I did 3 of those on that channel. And I also did like reviews for Andor season 1 for a little bit on that particular channel. What ended up happening is I see how much work that reviews can be. Like, it's not as fun to watch a show and then have to take notes on it and do all of that stuff, and it kind of made watching things not as fun. And plus, if you've seen that Power Rangers video that I posted here, it was a lot of editing to put that together. Not only the stuff I say, but like I used to have like a projector screen behind me. I had the idea of editing in footage clips behind me as I was talking, or maybe going through some plot points. That was the part that took like forever, because you had to position the video and put it in a particular, just for it to fit in the background. Had to add like a filter to try to make it look like it was a projector and everything, and it was a lot of work. I don't know, what is it, 20-minute video or something like that? It took hours to edit stuff like that. Going into a long story there, I have relaunched that channel as JohnHexx Plays. So the variety content that I may play on stream. So yeah, the longer form Let's Play videos will be on JohnHexx Plays. So what does this mean for JohnHexx? Well, lately JohnHexx, the YouTube channel, has been posting a lot more Fortnite content and things like that, but it's not just going to be a Fortnite channel. Like, you may still see some of that variety stuff, but maybe more like highlighted stuff for sure, or funny moments or things like that. I see this channel now as like more of a partner to the stream. So you may be seeing a lot more stream highlights on this channel. Fortnite stuff. And there'll also be stuff that I only do here. I'm not ruling out like reactions or reviews or commentary videos and things like that. A lot of those things will only take place here, but some things I may react to on stream and just post it here. So speaking of the quarry videos have now been removed. Actually, they haven't been removed here. They've just been privated. And I have successfully moved them all over to JohnHexx Plays. So that's where that will continue. So those are the major changes to the YouTube. JohnHexx TV is now JohnHexx, and it will be more of a partner channel to the stream. The longer, probably variety videos, you can call them Let's Plays, will be on a channel called JohnHexx Plays, which again, you can find, there's a section on the YouTube channel that has all the channels, and you can, I think it's labeled the Hex Network. You can find it there if you are interested. Quick note on the Twitch streams. I don't know when this video is going to come out. At this point of me recording it, it will probably be out the day of. But starting today, Monday, I'll be streaming. My regular days of streaming will be Monday through Thursday. Sundays are now gone due to the NFL. We've given you sort of the State of the Union, mostly on YouTube. Since this is a YouTube video, we've given you kind of what the rebranding has been and where content has moved and what content may be coming to these channels in the future. Now, we're going to give you some things that are coming up. A thing I started recently, in November, the end of November, is usually on Black Friday. It's been Black Friday the last 2 years. It's a thing that I call Hex Day. Hex Day is the anniversary of my first upload on YouTube. And I've always told the story. I'm not going to tell it here. I'll probably tell it again on Hex Day. But it was Thanksgiving weekend. God, what year was it? It'll be 9 years this year, so you think that would be like 2016 was my first upload on YouTube. That day is quickly coming, and that is usually a time when I try to do a big refresh of a lot of things. But yeah, this November, Hex Day 9 is coming. 9 years on the internet. Speaking of those 9 years, moving forward, because you never know. You never know how much time you have to do these things. Like, my sense of urgency is now here. And it's like all the things that I ever wanted to do as a content creator or whatever, I'm going to be trying to do in the coming months, whatever years, if it's years as well, that I can do. When you first start, you kind of, it's like you got time. You got time to do these things. You may have all these big dreams, all these things you want to do, but you're just starting out and you feel like there's time. We've been at this a long time now. And we've done some things. And we're still doing things, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But all those things that when I got into this, especially streaming, I know things are like completely different now in the streaming universe. Like we live in an age now with content, especially live streaming. The most popular stuff is IRL, people streaming their life or an exaggerated version of their life, reality TV kind of based streaming, and just chatting. Gaming is kind of taking a back seat to those things. But gaming has always been kind of I feel like, especially on YouTube, it's been a little bit harder of a genre to gain traction in. Saying all that, my thought process isn't in a box. Like, my mindset is thinking outside of that box. And you may see some more of that stuff in the future. Like, there's a lot of things in my mind. I was like, how can I push this thing to new heights? How can I take what I'm doing and push it to another level? Like, I put this out here that one of my dreams is kind of do a streaming musical in some way, shape, or form. I haven't figured out a concept or some way of doing it yet and how that would work. But how would you do that and what I do in a streaming form? Again, outside the box thinking. How can we push this thing to heights and do things that you didn't think was possible in a stream, considering what we do and how we do it? That's how my mind works. Again, it's not easy. It's not easy to make content. I think you got to love it. You got to have a passion for it. And you have to, those should be the main drivers of you doing it. It shouldn't be, I want to be famous. I want to make money. I want to get attention. Things like that. Because if those are your motivating factors to doing this, you're probably going to be sadly disappointing. Because it's not easy to get any of that. That I do this for the love of the game. I do this for the passion, and I do it for the creativity. And that's what I do it for. And that's why I'll continue to do it. That fire burns in me. Sometimes it's a little lower. Sometimes it's a little higher. Sometimes there's people around me that inspire me when I'm not feeling it. Like, we're still tiny, but the accomplishments that we have made to this point is something to look back on and be happy about. Like the fact that I've had generous support, the fact that I've hit some bucket list things ever since I started playing Fortnite. At one point, it was always a dream of mine at one point to say, hey, obviously I never thought I'd be a professional player. Let's put that out there. Being an actual comp pro player is a lot different style of tournament. The tournaments that I was thinking about is like you'll see a content creator host a tournament. I remember they used to have the old Fortnite Fridays, Tfue Tuesdays, Twitch rivals would do things like that. The fact that I got to do something like that on a smaller scale, I got invited to a Fortnite tournament. And knowing that was something that was on the bucket list of things to do, and I got to do it. Again, accomplishment. Me, the introvert, the quiet guy who sits there and games. Mostly, everything has been centered around gaming. And I was a guest on a Just Chatting stream. And we're talking about Emmy's slumber party. Who would have thought that I would be invited to something like that? Me. And one of the most rewarding things of all from streaming, that a few people that I've heard from, that I've run across on my time on Twitch, and somebody is having a bad day, or someone is just having a day, and they said that I put a smile on their face, or I made them laugh, or for a moment they got to forget about their problems because that I did something that kind of made them forget in that moment, that can escape for that moment. That I've heard that from a few people. That may be the most rewarding thing of all that I've done in this world of content. When I've heard those things. Yes, we are tiny as a streamer. Yes, we are tiny as a content creator, but we've accomplished so much. And a lot of it has been finally finding myself after all these years. Got to go through the trial and error to get to a point. All of those things you got to do to get to a point, I guess, to find it finally. And I'm not saying I know it works. I'm not saying that we found something special, but again, it is a lot. I feel like now on stream or on content, it's a lot easier for me to be me versus probably in the past where I was, you probably see something that works from somebody else and you try to somewhat emulate that. You can't be them. You have to be yourself. Or you can go back even further when I was more stiff on camera and things. And now it's more just relaxed. These are the things you have to get to a point. And it's just by everything, just like everything else, you get there sometimes by experience. Some people get lucky and get it early. Some people it takes time. And unfortunately, some people will never get it. But that will do it for the JohnHexx Showcase. This was kind of a update on everything that is JohnHexx, and also me just kind of stopping and smelling the roses. It's been a good run. And if you would have told me some of those days when I was struggling on Facebook or struggling here on YouTube, that I'd gotten to do some of the things that I've gotten to do to this point, I may have not believed it. You never know what the future holds. And we're not done yet. We still got history to make. So let's make it together. I'm JohnHexx, and I am out.